you. Today in economics, we are going to continue the third lesson, theories of employment and income. Learning objectives. In the last class, we have studied full employment, unemployment and its types. Today we are going to learn the classical theory of employment. Classical theory of employment. There was no single theory which could be labeled as classical theory of employment. The classical theory of employment is composed of different views of classical economics. Adam Smith wrote the book An Inquiry into the Nature and Causes of Wealth of the Nations, published in the year 1776. At the time itself, the classical theory was developed by David Ricardo, J.S. Mill, J.P. Say and A.C. Bigu. Classical economics believe in the long period, full employment attained in long period without inflation. They also assume that wages and prices of goods were flexible and perfect competition prevails in economy, that laissez-faire economy. There should be no government intervention. J.P. Say's law of market. Say's law of market was developed in 1803. J.P. Say was a French economist and industrialist. He was influenced by the writings of Adam Smith and David Ricardo. Jean-Baptiste Say is called J.P. Say. Say's law of market is the core of the classical theory of employment. Supply creates its own demand. This is known as Say's law. One line, only one line. Supply creates its own demand. This is known as Say's law. In Say's words, it is production which creates markets for goods. According to this concept, whenever any product is produced, the demand of the product is also simultaneously generated through the process of payment of remuneration to the factors of production. Say's law is applicable both in barter economy and in money economy. Barter economy. The exchange of one goods for another goods without the use of money was known as barter system, where goods are ultimately sold for goods. Every good brought to the market is a demand for some other goods. Therefore, whatever is produced is ultimately consumed in the economy. So, every seller is a buyer also. In this way, supply creates its own demand in barter system, barter economy. And also, Say's law applicable in monetary economy. Monetary economy, in such economies, money acts as a medium of exchange. So, seller sells his product in market, get money in return and buys other goods and services with it. The value of demand so created will be equal to value of supply. The value of demand is equal to value of supply. The Say's law of market explained through two-sector model. Production creates market for goods. When goods are produced by firms in the economy, they pay reward to the factors of production. For example, FAM provide the household sector provide factors of production to the FAM. That is land, labor, capital, as we know. The FAM uses these factors of production produce goods and services. The household sector receives income from the FAM for providing services. Land, labor, capital, they get reward in the form of land get reward, rent, labor, wages, capital, dividends. From FAM return, it turn into household income. So the household sector purchase all goods and services provided by the FAM. The whole income spent consuming goods. When producers obtain the various inputs to be used in the production process, they generate necessary income. For example, producers give wages to laborers for purchasing goods. The laborers will purchase the goods from the market for their own use. This is turn causes the demand for goods is produced. In this way, supply creates its own demand. Next, let us see. Total production is equal to total income. Total production is equal to total income. How it's possible? Total production is equal to total income. In your book, one example is given. Tom makes and sells lemonade at ₹5. That is from Tom supply. Tom sold 10 lemonade for ₹5. So Tom earned profit. Tom earns money from the sale of lemonade. With this income, Tom spend that money to purchase other goods like fruits, vegetables, any other goods. Here Tom demand for other goods. A person receives his income from production which is spent on the purchase of goods and services produced by others for the economy as a whole. Therefore, total production is equal to total income. Okay, is it clear? Next, let us see assumptions of the Say's law of market. The Say's law of market is based on the following assumptions. First one, no single buyer or single seller of commodity or an input can affect price. Fifth, Say's law assumes that there is perfect competition in the economy, so that no single buyer or seller cannot influence in the market. There are large number of buyers and sellers only influence in the market. Next, let us see full employment. Say's law of market based on the proposition full employment in the economy. Increase in production. How the economy attain full employment? Increase in production means more employment to the factors of production. Production continues to increase until the level of full employment is reached. Then automatically the unutilized resources will be properly utilized, which will further help to produce more employment and also generate more income. People are motivated by self-interest, and self-interest determines economic decisions. Here, the Say's law, the people are motivated by their own self-interest. The self-interest only determines all economic activities like production, consumption, exchange, distributions. All economic decisions motivated by self-interest only. Then laissez-faire policy. Laissez-faire means non-intervention of the government. Because of non-intervention by government, what happens here? The market forces determine everything. What are the market forces? Demand and supply. According to demand and supply only, price determine. Next, let us see. There will be a perfect competition in labor and product market. The law is based on the proposition that there is automatic and self-adjusting mechanism in different markets. For example, in capital market, the equality between saving and investment is maintained by the rate of interest, while in the labor market, the adjustment between demand and supply of labor is maintained by the wage rate. Then there is wage price flexibility. In production process, production cost increases because they are given high wage. The higher wages leads to high price. There is a wage price flexibility. Money acts only as a medium of exchange. The Say's law is based on the proposition of a barter system where goods are exchanged for goods. But it is also assumed that the role of money is neutral. Money does not affect the production process. Money acts only as a medium of exchange. Long run analysis. Say's law of market attain equilibrium assumes that the attain equilibrium in the long run at the level of full employment without inflation in the long period only. Next, let us see implications of Say's law. There is no possibility for overproduction or unemployment. According to Say, when goods are produced by firms in the economy, they pay reward to the factors of production. The households, after receiving rewards of the factors of production, spend the amount on the purchase of goods and services produced by them. Therefore, each product produced in the economy creates demand equal its value in the market, so that there is no possibility for overproduction or unemployment. An automatic price mechanism operates in the economy. The law is based on his proposition that there is automatic and self-adjusting mechanism in different market. Interest flexibility brings about equality between saving and investment. Income to the factors owners in the form of rent, wage and interest is not spent on consumption but some proportion out of it saved, which is automatically invested for further production. Therefore, investment in production is a saving which helps to create demand for goods in the market. Saving investment equality is maintained to avoid general overproduction. Money performs only the medium of exchange. Say's law of market. Money does not affect the production process. Money acts as only the medium of exchange. Next, let us see criticisms of Say's law. According to Keynes, supply does not create its demand. J.M. Keynes, in his General Theory of Employment, Interest and Money, published in 1936, made a criticized on the classical theory, Say's law of market. Keynes criticized Say's law of market on the following grounds. First one, supply does not create its own demand. Say's law assumes that production creates market for goods. Therefore, supply creates its own demand. But this proposition is not possible, is not applicable to modern economics where demand does not increase as much as production increases. It is also not possible to consume only those goods which are produced within the economy. Second one, automatic adjustment process will not remove unemployment. Say's law, full employment is maintained by an automatic and self-adjustment mechanism in the long run. But Keynes does not believe that in the long run we are all dead. It is not the automatic adjustment process which removes unemployment. But unemployment can be removed by increase in the rate of investment. Next one, money is not neutral. Say's law of markets is based on the barter system and ignores the role of money in the system. Say believes that money does not affect the economic activities of the markets. Keynes has given due importance to money. He regards money as a medium of exchange. Money is held for income and business motives. Individuals hold money for unforeseen situations, while businessmen keep cash in reserve for future activities. Next, the need for state intervention arises in the case of general overproduction and mass unemployment. State intervention. Say's law is based on the existence of laissez-faire policy, non-intervention of government. But Keynes has highlighted the need for state intervention in the case of general overproduction and mass unemployment. Laissez-faire, in fact, led to the Great Depression. Had the capitalist system been automatic and self-adjusting, this would not have occurred. Keynes therefore advocated state intervention for adjusting supply and demand within the economy through fiscal and monetary measures. Okay children, go through the textbook, learn well. Thank you.